The Lagos State House of Assembly approved the use of mechanized sweeping operations on Section 1 of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, insisting that the introduction of modern cleaning equipment will not replace manual sweepers in order to protect jobs and sustain economic opportunities for residents. The resolution followed the consideration and adoption of the report of the House Ad hoc Committee on the request for irrevocable standing payment order for the mechanized sweeping project. Olatunde Yusuf has the details.
At plenary, lawmakers expresses support for the mechanized sweeping initiative, describing it as a modern approach to improving environmental sanitation and road safety. They however stressed the need to ensure existing manual sweepers' jobs to be sustained and not displaced by the new system. Speaker of the House, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, says while mechanized sweeping represents global best practice, the Assembly considers the social and economic implications of eliminating manual sweeping jobs, stressing that many of the women engaged in road sweeping rely on the work as their primary source of livelihood. They say government must strike a balance between embracing technology and preserving employment opportunities.
Bring machine into it, definitely you are taking them out. And you have to consider the consequence, the rate of inflation, the poverty level and all these. So the idea of having people on the road then was deliberate, is to empower our people. But we are now introducing, because according to the report rendered by the chairman, beyond Lagos, Calabar, Coastal Road, you mentioned some other roads as well. So I think we need to look at this. We don't want to send people back home without doing anything.
The House also sought clarification on the repayment structure and recovery process of the proposed ISPO, urging the executives to provide adequate safeguards to ensure that the state is not exposed to unnecessary financial risks. As the Ad hoc Committee Chairman, Honorable Lukman Olumo, presents its report, explaining that officials of Lagos Waste Management Authority informed the committee that mechanized street sweeping has become necessary to improve efficiency, reduce accidents involving manual sweepers, and align Lagos with international best practices.
The mechanized street sweeping operation is the best way to go in the state because that is the best practice all over the world, and that there is a consensus between the state and the federal government on the sweeping operation carried out at the Section 1 of Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. However, it stated that Blue Cap Technology is one of the long-term partners with Loma, presently working across the state, including Airport Road, Oshodi-Oke, Oworonshoki-Bega, Bonny Cap, and Third Mainland Bridge.
Olumo says the committee also recommended approval of the ISPO to facilitate the project, advising the Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget to make necessary budgetary provisions for the outstanding financial commitments in subsequent fiscal years.
The committee swung into action by inviting the Commissioner and officials of the Ministry of Economic Planning, Finance, Economy, Environment and Water Resources to look into the modality and tenor for the payment of the ISPO, to know if there is budgetary provision for it in the year 2022-2026 appropriation law, to ensure the efficiency of the mechanized street sweeping operation in the state, to ensure that the next administration in the state is protected from being overburdened with loan repayments.
Following deliberations, the House adopts the committee's report with amendments, approving the mechanized sweeping project, while directing that manual sweeping operations should continue alongside the new system to safeguard jobs and support livelihood of affected workers. Olatunde Yusuf, LTV News.